Portia. You are live here where Portia takes on the black belt. Of course, we're in the what? Black belt. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Tonight's show is very educational and informative. Thank you so much for coming out. I also wanted to let you know that future shows would include city council meeting, county commissioner meeting across the entire black belt. We're going to touch on issues, things of concerns from things that are happening right here in our area. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Give me your feedback in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in, and tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. for shows interviewing people right here in our area on Portia Takes on the Black Belt. I hope I see you again. Bye-bye. All right, we are live here with Philip White from Julia L. White Funeral Home. How you doing, Philip White?
I'm doing fine, Portia.
All
How
right.
you doing?
I'm fine. So how long have you been in this business?
I grew up in it. Of course, my family's been in it since 1874.
Okay.
And so as a child, I started going out on first calls with my father, my uncles, and grew up in it. So I've been in it since as long as I can remember.
And how long have you been in Uniontown?
Oh, all my life, except when we were off in school. This is home, a beautiful place. I don't know if it's a place. I see the potential in our area. I love the Black Belt. A lot of good people here, and this is home.
All right. So, what things would you like to see changed in there? Being that you are a businessman in here, and the business that you're in is going well, would you say?
It's fine. Yes,
It's stable.
It's stable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, being that this is a stable business for so many other businesses, what advice would you give to business on people in this area who's trying to either open a business or have a business to keep them afloat?
We need some more entrepreneurial spirit people. It's a lot of opportunities in the Black Belt for our younger folks. I talk to our church a lot about trade schools. We always push the 4-year college education. That's a good thing. But I think we overlook the 2-year college education. There are a lot of jobs out there. You can go to Wallace, Shelton State, and come out. And a lot of times you can end up with a larger salary than you would if you had gone to a 4-year and have a 4-year degree.
Okay.
So Uniontown needs plumbers. Matter of fact, the Black Belt needs some plumbers. I was speaking the other day with a contractor, and he said, hey, we need electricians, certified electricians. And so there are a lot of opportunities out there.
All right, so being that you've been in Uniontown and you graduated from university, correct? Mm-hmm. University of Alabama.
Yeah, graduated from the University of Alabama.
Okay, and being that you stayed in West Alabama, and knowing that you've been in West Alabama and cities who've grown in West Alabama,
it's gone out.
In West Alabama, one of the things that I want to see is why do you think that certain cities in West Alabama grow and others don't?
Well, I think that if you're referring to the growth that we see in other cities versus the Black Belt, I think what has happened, there's a need for political change. But in the process of political change, you have to have economic change. And I think sometimes we end up pushing the politics without the economics. Mm-hmm. And I think they go hand in hand. The cities that are growing realize that you have to have economic changes. And so what I've seen, I've studied like the city of Tuscaloosa.
Right.
And that wasn't changed. The city of Tuscaloosa didn't really change because of a political climate. Or who was in office. That didn't change it. It changed because of the business community got together, right, and they devised a plan. What the politicians do and what the people in politics do, they don't necessarily bring businesses in, but they set an environment so business people will want to invest their money. And that's what happened in Tuscaloosa. They got together, the fathers of the city got together and said, look, let's create something where we can keep our people shopping at home, but we can also become the regional place for people in smaller communities where they will end up being attracted to our city to purchase what they need. And so now you're seeing that. See, when I was in school in Tuscaloosa back in the mid-'80s, mm-hmm, you didn't see any of the growth that you see now. It was Highway 69 was a 2-lane road. I remember traveling back many days from the university back to Uniontown. There was a Texaco gas station I used to stop at because they had good breakfast sandwiches. I would stop there and they had Red Hots, matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
I would stop there and eat. And that was pretty much all that was on 69 South. Well, where you see the Hooters and nothing but just grassy covered area. Nothing was there. But Stan Pate and some of those other developers got together and they saw an opportunity. And they started putting things in. And that's why you're seeing the growth. It takes economics to change a community. The people that had it said, look, we can make some money, but in the process of making money, we're going to provide some services. And so you have to bring the economic component to the table.
Okay.
And a lot of times, I can go on and on
Yeah,
about this.
yeah. We want you
But
to.
a lot of times we're so interested in getting to the table. Everybody ought to be at the table, but you have to make sure at the table you got some people that have something to invest.
Right.
It takes money. It's not going. You can have all the ideas you want, but until you have the dollar to back it, it's just an idea. So you have to be able to couple your idea, couple the ideas with the money, and then you can see the growth.
Okay. Now, just say, as a long term black belt resident, would you consider doing that here in the black belt area again? Besides what you're doing with your current business,
I think
anything else?
Yeah, what happens is in a smaller community like Uniontown, you're not necessarily going to get the larger corporations like McDonald's and all kind of folks to come because it's all based on demographics. I remember several years ago we made a trip out to the West Coast to go to the International Shopping Centers Convention,
Right.
and took a group with us, and we had prepared a presentation to expose our city to the world, and because this is a great place to live, and we wanted businesses to come. We got out there, and they were in a large civic center. Civic center was probably as large as most of the downtown of Uniontown.
Right.
And we had to schedule appointments with the different vendors to sell our community over to them. Well, in the process of calling those vendors to try to arrange a 5-minute a time set aside for us, we wasn't having very much success. And so I took the group out. I said, let's just walk the halls in. Since we can't get an appointment, let's walk the halls. And I remember as I was walking the hall, there was a guy from Big Lots. He saw the name tag Uniontown. He says, he stopped me in the hall. He said, how you doing? I said, fine. He said, you're from Alabama? I said, yeah. I said, you wouldn't know what part I'm from. Oh, he said, I know everything about your community. He said, matter of fact, he says, your community is within the region which I'm over. And I said, okay. He said, and then he smiled. He said, you're not having much success today, are you? I said, no. He said, can I tell you why? I said, yeah, tell me why. He said, you came out with an idea, and as everybody else did, and you wanted something in your community. He says, but that's not what drives us there. Numbers drive us there. We're looking at your population. We're looking at the income. We want to know. Most businesses says, well, no, we want to make a certain amount of dollar, and so we want to come in. Can we make that dollar in your community? Mm-hmm. And I said, well, tell me, what do we do then, since we're not going to be successful getting these people? He says, your best bet is to go back, and you have to talk to the community, and you have to get the community to invest in themselves first.
Wow.
The community has to make an investment in themselves. That means you have to support the local businesses. You have to support the local businesses. Once you start supporting the local businesses and you start keeping the few dollars that you have in your own community. Right. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to go outside the community and buy other stuff, because you will have to. Because in a small community, you can't get everything you need. But what you can purchase, you need to purchase in that town. And so, I think that we have to, in the Black Belt, we have to start supporting the Black Belt. If you support the Black Belt, you'll start to see the growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, just recently, it was a shooting here in Uniontown, and a lot of people have been upset about it and everything like that. If you were in a position of leadership, what would you do to try to encourage individuals to focus more so on loving each other more so than fighting each other?
Let me go back. I don't think you have to be in a position. I don't think we have to be in a position to do that.
Okay.
I think that every person in the community can just step forward and say, look, we don't really want that kind of behavior in our town. We're better than that. And then most times the people that are involved in it, they're good people. They come from good families, and sometimes they go astray. Sometimes they just need to be, hey, that's not what we need.
Message would you give, thinking about all the things that you just said about how to develop the black belt and how to move the black belt forward? What message would you give the next generation so they can be able to do what it is that you're saying?
Take advantage of all the opportunities that are present. A lot of times we end up concentrating so much on the negatives, on what we don't have, and we really forget what the good Lord has already blessed us with and how much we have, and there's so much we can do. You have to, first of all, work with what you have, and you have to have vision. You have to be able to see yourself beyond where you are, and you have set some goals, and you start working toward that, and the sky is the limit. And I look at the young kids that are coming up; they have so much ahead of them, and there's so many. God has just positioned them at a time. See, when we were coming up, we didn't have this technology thing, and that's a new avenue. And I mean, they can make tons of money in that, and also do things that they like doing in the process.
Right.
Just being able to incorporate, teaching us older folks how to incorporate technology into our business.
Right.
You know, that's another business right there. But there's so many opportunities for them, and I would just tell them to take advantage of everything that the Lord places.
Back when I had a little, I thought that I needed a lot. A little was overrated.
Hey, and we are back with Philip White. He is not only is a businessman, but he's also a pastor. So this side of the conversation, we're going to go a little spiritual. So if you're not spiritual, you may want to cut this off. All right. So, Pastor White, tell me about being a pastor in the Blackbelt of Alabama.
I have. God has given me the ability, put me in position to meet a lot of great people, get a chance to speak to a lot of people and minister to them. And I really do view everything that I do as a ministry. I view the funeral home as a ministry, the church as a ministry. Everything that I do, I've sat down a few years ago, several years ago, and I started asking God. I said, God, what's my purpose? You know, because I believe you have to operate within purpose. And He showed me my purpose. My purpose is to minister. And so whatever arena I'm in, that's what it's for. And pastoring is just another avenue to do what I believe God has called me to do.
So what's the name of your church?
The church where I pastor is called the Mount Olive. It's called the Olive. That's what we call it. It's the Olive. It's really the Mount Olive Missionary Baptist Church. But in short, we just call it the Olive. We're not into the denominational thing. We're just into worship and watching the Lord use His Word and His people to cause an effective and a good change in the lives of people.
All right. So what would you say that your church is like a mixture of the entire Black Belt, you would say?
Oh, yeah. I remember, 15, 16 years ago, we got there, small little rural church on Highway 80, passed by it many times, never really paid much attention to it. God called me there. Actually, He used your father to help me get there. I just preached my very first sermon at First Baptist and didn't know anything about preaching, still learning.
Right.
And they were in need of a pastor, and he suggested that they allow me just to fill in until they found one. And here we are, 15 so years later, and just watching the growth that is taking place. We have probably more members now from the Uniontown area than we do any other area. But we got people that are Uniontown, Demopolis, Gallion, some drive from Moundville this way. So we're becoming a regional church.
Okay. And I see you guys are building your church?
We're building another structure.
Okay.
We are building a structure. Of course, I believe the church is the people.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and so God He wanted another place for the people to worship in,
Right.
and so we're building a house for His glory.
Are you excited about the new sanctuary and the combining your new sanctuary with all the ministry that you already have going?
Yeah, I'm probably more excited about the ministries that we do than the building.
Okay.
I'm not that excited about the structure going up.
Oh,
That's
wow.
His structure. I'm more excited about a building is a building. Of course, it's God's building. But when I think about the ministries that we offer at the church, that's what I get excited about. It can become tiresome because you want to do more, but you have to find out, and I'm often reminded by my pastor that, hey, sometimes you have to do what you can do at that moment. And it's like He's infused me with so much that I want to see done, and I know He's going to allow it to happen in time. But we have so many different ministries. I'm probably the proudest of our Hope Lodge ministry.
Okay.
We started that as a ministry where we go up to the American Cancer Society once a quarter, and we get to we serve dinner to the patients and the residents and their families that are there, and oftentimes they end up ministering to us while we're there. That's one of the ministries I'm proud of. I'm proud that we have a reading club ministry also, and because I believe reading is the key to knowledge.
Right.
And so I'm proud of what's taking place with that. I watch our youth ministry, how it has expanded, our missions, the work that they do. We're trying also to broaden the mindset of especially our youth, and so we take them out because we believe that exposure is a key component in that. We have a grief and loss ministry. I can go on with the ministries we
Right.
have at our church. but there are a lot of different ministries. And what I do like about it is that you're not required to be a member of the church to participate in the ministry. So yeah.
And that's a good thing. One of the things that you talked about earlier, you talked about how the Black Belt can improve by us investing in each other. How can the church play a key role in that?
Oh, I believe that as the church goes, the community goes.
Okay.
And so the church has to step up, because we become that little light that sits on the hill.
Right.
We're living in some dark times. People are going through all kind of things.
Right.
And so when the church steps up, when the church starts making an investment back into the community, and what I mean by that, back into the people, then the people will see their lives change. When you invest back into the home, and you tell that husband and that wife, hey, this is how God says it ought to be done. This is the way He says it. You can experience success if you do it this way. And they start implementing those things gradually into that family, and they see the benefit, and the love in the household expands, and the children start growing up in a better manner. And so, yeah, I think the church is a vital part of that.
All right. So what would you say to a non-believer that may be watching this program?
Try another way. I simply say that if your way, the way you've been living, the way you've been doing it, you take an analysis of your life, see where you are, and if you're not satisfied with it, maybe it's time. That's a telltale sign that maybe something I'm doing is not working. Try God's way. Matter of fact, He says that we're going to try our own way, and most of us can testify that when we tried our way, most times it just don't work out. But He says, look, I got a better way, and in the end, He says, I'm going to bring you to your expected end, but I'm going to give you peace along the way. If you don't have peace in your life, and you're not getting a good night's rest, and house is not where it ought to be, maybe you want to try something different. God has a better plan, and I guarantee you that if you open yourself up to His plan, and you allow His plan to really work in your life, you'll see the change, and you'll want to be with it.
All right, you have a beautiful wife, Carla, and hey, Carla, hey, Camille, and tell us about how your family plays a key role in your church and within your business.
Oh, my wife, my family was very supportive. I believe that the ministry that God has called me in, and what brought me most joy, I think, is when I saw my wife buy into it. Wow. And now we work as a team. And she ministers just as hard as I do, and she understands her role in this process. I think for years she was trying to figure out what was her purpose, and she found her purpose. Once you find your purpose, Portia, you find your life changes. All the other stuff really doesn't matter. Right. And I think sometimes we get so bogged down in stuff that doesn't matter. Right. But if you find your purpose, and the only way you're going to find your purpose is to go to the one who made you. God made us, so He knows why He created us. Go find from Him what is your purpose. Of course, our ultimate purpose is to give Him glory, but we give Him glory in different ways. My way of giving Him glory might be different than your way of giving Him glory, but at the end, He gets the glory. When she found what gives God glory and her purpose, and she started operating and walking in that, I think she began to, she brought into the ministry, and so now we are a team.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're a team.
All right. Well, we appreciate you so much for taking the time. Is there anything else that you want to say from both sides of it, from the business side as well as the spiritual side, or do they all work hand in hand?
They work hand in hand.
Okay.
They work hand. Let God use you. The sky is the limit. You heard all of that. But I do want to invite you to come and worship with us at the Mount Olive Baptist Church, the Olive. We are there every Sunday. We have Sunday school at 9 o'clock, worship at 10:15. On Wednesdays, we have Bible study. Second Tuesdays at 5:30, we have our grief and loss class. And we have a couples ministry, and you ought to come and be a part of that. We go on trips. We go to New Orleans sometimes. We're planning on going to the mountains. Bring your children down, put them in an environment where they can learn God in a way that they can learn God. We preach a simple gospel, and that's the kind of gospel that Jesus preached, and we'd love to have you come and be a part of what you're all about.
All right. Well, this is the end of Portia Takes on the Black Belt, our first episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war.